What is up, everybody, and welcome to another Saturday night live stream. Tonight we have our good friend Bill from Weird Fantastic Toys. Now, me and Bill, we kind of knew each other for maybe well over a year, I think it was, going back and forth on each other's channels. And Bill's been a huge supporter of the channel. Honestly, very, very generous, and I'm looking forward to having Bill on and having a chat with Bill. So, without further ado, Mr. Bill from Weird Fantastic Toy Ventures. How you been, my friend?
Hey man, how's it going?
Oh,
Everybody
you're
doing
flexing
all
on
right?
it. You got a mug and everything. You're already flexing on a mug. I need
Oh
one of
yeah, I
those.
got a merch store, man.
I'm gonna check that out. I want myself a Weird Fantastic Toys mug.
Yeah, I'd love to have you you guys go over to my merch store. I mean, there it is right there.
There you
Uh,
go.
go get some t-shirts. I'm wearing my own t-shirt today. Grab a mug. Yeah, I'm a YouTuber now, guys. All the merch and all that crap. Yeah, so there you go.
So what else you got? You got T-shirts. You got mugs. What else you got?
Oh, I got teddy bears. I mean, you name it, hoodies. I've got, I think, three different designs. One of my designs got rejected because they said it wasn't good enough. So I redid it and sent it back to them. I think it's going good. One of them, if you'll look right over, I guess here, you'll see my channel avatar. I've got a T-shirt with him on it. I got coffee cups with him on it. I got coffee cups with him and the logo. Uh, I haven't had a whole lot of sales, but I did buy some of my own merch, and Joneser bought some merch, and I've used it to give free gifts to channel members, stuff like that.
Okay, awesome. So what's the story behind your avatar? I've always wanted to ask you. I knew I was
Okay,
going to have you on it one day.
okay, X-Ray Boy. A long, long, long time ago, Remco had an ad for a robot toy, and there was a little boy in it wearing that headgear, and he had the remote control in his hand for the robot, and ah, right here, if you'll look on this robot, is a picture of that little boy and the
Oh,
robot.
okay.
Okay. Now, I bought this at a truck stop when I was on a trip recently, and this robot kind of looks like the robot in that picture. Not quite, but close enough. And if you watch the beginnings of my live streams, he's the one that comes in and says that he's breaking into the feed, and then my show starts. But how did my channel start? I think is the question. So a long, long, long time ago, uh, I had a Sea Monkey blog, and it was all about the experiments that I was doing growing brine shrimp or sea monkeys. And actually, I was growing the branded sea monkeys from the ones that Harold Brown Brunhunt made. And I stayed on it for so long, if I can get this off the wall here, that I got a diploma from the Crustacean College of Sea Monkey Knowledge, meaning that I am a doctor of the denizens of the deep. So you can call me Dr. Bill if you'd like, but nobody ever does, so you don't have to. Anyway, let me put my diploma back on the wall where my wife had so graciously hung it. Anyway, so
Awesome.
my Sea Monkey blog needed videos of my Sea Monkey experiments in their tanks. So I made a YouTube channel just to put those experiments up. This very channel that I have now, Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures, was that channel. Those Sea Monkey experiments videos are still there to this very day.
Oh, okay.
And they are on my blog. My blog changed its name 3 times before it became Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. I started experimenting with different things besides sea monkeys. I started out with old comic book ads, like Hostess ads, an Incredible Hulk killing men over Twinkies. And yes, people, if you look at that ad, when he rolled those men up in that asphalt, they surely died.
Oh, for sure.
But anyway, as it progressed, I've been collecting toys just about my whole life since I was a little kid. I still have some of my childhood toys to this very day. And the blog just progressed over to toys because I started doing toy photography and I wanted to show that off on my blog. Well, blogging's a little old fashioned nowadays, I suppose. If you look at my blog, it looks like an old fashioned blog, and I'm going to leave it that way. I love it. But I started making videos. Basically, it was slideshows set to music with my toys.
Yep.
And those worked out so well that I decided to rebrand the YouTube channel from just my name to Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures and link it to my blog. And it pretty much is taken over. So now it's my YouTube channel that does all the heavy lifting, and it just auto posts to my blog whenever I post a new video on YouTube. So I've friends of mine who say I need to go back to writing those blog articles. Most of that stuff that I did in the past is still there. It's all still there. And they say I did an excellent job of doing those, and then I should take some of those blog articles and make videos of them and turn them into videos. Yes, I need to do all of that. I also need more time in this world, and I don't
Yeah.
have any of it. You know what I mean by that.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you cover on your channel? So tell us a bit about your channel. So what kind of content do you make?
Mainly, it's a toy blog. That toy vlog. That's what it's
Yeah.
supposed to be. It's supposed to be about my toys, what toys I get. Yeah, I do reviews. My reviews are interesting. I don't do Pixel Dan reviews. I open the thing up and show it to you. I talk about what I like about it, and maybe what I don't. I'm not afraid to show the shortcomings of toys. I mean, as much as I love Snake Mountain over here, the brand new one, Origins, I have issues with it, and I pointed those out in the video that I did about that. But all in all, it's good. I do that. Now on Saturday night, I do something a little different, and tonight it's going to be a little different. It's more like a variety show. It's comedy. I'll dig up something from the past and we'll lampoon it. Show old commercials. I do a lot of pop culture and nostalgia over here. And sometimes when I get a wild hair up my butt, I'll rant about something. But
Yeah.
I try to keep it nice and friendly. I want everyone to enjoy the channel and come in. Some people just want to come and watch me chain smoke. I don't care. Fine. Viewing hours are great. I love my viewing hours. I love my viewers. Right now, I'm sitting at 841 and on the trek towards 1,000. I know you've told me to do shorts. I've experimented with shorts. YouTube can kiss my entire white butt. I am not doing shorts. Maybe I should, but all the viewers I ever got from the shorts that ever became subscribers are not subscribed to me now. They never watched my long form videos.
Yeah.
They never came to my live streams. So screw them. I'd rather have the 841 viewers that I do have that keep my viewing hours well over 4,000 to right now. As soon as I reach 1,000, I'm not going to have to wait until I get my viewing hours like everyone else does.
Yeah.
I look at my statistics, and yeah, I do look at my stats. One of the things that you need to stop doing though is looking at them daily, because it can get depressing. But if you look at them like monthly or every once in a while, when you think about it, it can be invigorating because it will change over time. But most people, they'll reach 1,000 subscribers in a minute, snap, and then they're sitting there looking at their viewing hours, going, "How will I ever get these viewing hours?" Well, my subscribers watch my channel. When I look at my statistics, most people have all these new watchers, and then they have very few returning viewers. That's your subscribers. Mine's opposite from that. Am I shadow banned? Is that reason why I'm not getting new viewers? I don't know. I don't care. Most of the time, my channel gets new viewers by word of mouth. Whenever I appear, like here, hey Cobweb, I see you down there, and Real Batman and Carol and everybody's just hanging out over there. When these people see me on other channels or they hear about me from somebody else, they come over and start watching me. And here, I'll shout out Pop Actor Rick. You may not ever heard of him. He's prolifically in these chats. he goes over to another person and he goes, "Man, you got to watch Bill. He sits there and chain smokes all night long and just rants." So and here comes new people coming in, and YouTube. Here I'm just rattling at the mouth. You can stop me whenever you want, but when
Feel free
YouTube
to go ahead, my friend.
when YouTube changed the requirements to be monetized, they kind of give you monetization light, where once you get, I think it was, what is it, 500 subscribers and over 1,000 view an hour, some shit like that. Anyway, when they did that, I immediately I had it right then.
Yeah.
So right now I can do the supers, I can do super thanks, super chat, super stickers, set up a merch store. Usually you do that like through Teespring or something like that. I think mine's in Spreadshop. Yes, it's in Spreadshop. There we go. But anyway, in channel memberships, I've got channel memberships open. I've actually got 4 members. I'm surprised anybody wanted to be a member. Before I ever did any of that, I set up a Patreon. Yep. I think you're a patron of mine, yes, if I'm not mistaken, Chris.
Yeah, I will be a channel membership too, or channel member too.
I appreciate that.
I will, man. I don't know. I gotta support.
I actually have tiers on the channel membership, but it doesn't matter because even though it says you'll get all these perks when you go up to the higher tiers, the guys down there in the weirdos tier get everything that everybody else will get right now because I don't have but 4 people. So,
it's like, well, you're my only channel member, so, and you're my only Patreon member.
Really? That's surprising. All right, I'm looking at you, Chad. Hold on. I'm looking at you, Chad. This is something that you need to fix. This man needs to have a little support. Because I don't know if you've noticed this, Chris, but once you get a YouTube channel, it's not free. Yes, YouTube doesn't charge us any money to be over here. And yes, we get a little bit of money off of super chats and stuff like that. But, oh, well, for instance, look right up here. He's that Powered by StreamYard tells me that this man is not paying $25 for StreamYard like I do.
So that I don't make enough per month to cover StreamYard.
Yeah, and see, my patrons pay for my StreamYard, and they know it. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do over here on my channel. What happens when you want to play some music on your channel? I notice that you're playing the StreamYard included music, which is fine.
Yeah.
But what if you want to play something kind of neat, kind of out there, something entertaining? Well, you can't get anything popular because that's all copyrighted. So if you want a copyright ID, you can go on and play it, and any money that you make off of that is going to go right to whoever owns that copyright, and you don't see a dime of it.
Yeah.
But there's royalty-free music, but that ain't all free. The good stuff you have to pay a subscription to get.
Yeah.
Backgrounds. If you're not an artist able to make your own backgrounds and you want some decent backgrounds, well, you can find some stuff for free out there, but all the good stuff, join a subscription service. Pay a little bit of money. So, yeah, to make money, you've got to spend a little money to make a YouTube channel work and be entertaining and attract viewers. You've got to work at it and spend a little bit of money on it. Mics are not free. Laptops and computers are not free. Cameras are not free. We have to pay for all this stuff out of our own pocket. And what little that we're making back is not really covering all of it. So actually, it's a money losing operation at this point. But we dream. I told my wife the other day, I said, just imagine if I had 5,000 members who gave me $1 a piece every month. That would be $5,000 a month. Why? I could quit my job.
That's the dream. That is the dream. I do have a decent job, but I mean, I'd love to do this for a living. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be fake and say that I wouldn't want to do this for a living. Why wouldn't you want to?
All right. Real Batman has a 2-part question.
Yep.
Favorite line to collect. Second favorite
EP, everything's plastic, crotch shot. So on the live stream, we've been doing I was doing a model kit, and as I was doing the model kit, I kind of flipped the camera over, and it zoomed in on my crotch. So now every single live stream, there's a running joke about show me a crotch shot, crotch shot, crotch shot.
Wow. Yeah, those memes happen quite frequently when we get to Grindhead Jim. There's a couple of things going on over there. The justice for the Justice Jogger, because he refuses to buy a Justice Jogger for the Superpowers line. And the other one, I think, is the Majestic Tiger meme. Do you know what the Majestic Tiger is?
No.
Okay. Go to Google and do a Google search for Lego Majestic Tiger. And if you've got the guts, when you find the picture in question, share that with your viewers. They would love to see this as well. And yes,
I'm searching on my phone first.
This is real, people. Lego actually made this. And Bjorn Jorgensen is the one who perpetrated the Majestic Tiger meme upon Grindhead Jim to his chagrin. And it's still there to this very day.
Oh, man.
But okay, going back to Real Batman's question, my favorite line in this whole wide world is not Masters of the Universe. It's Superpowers. The original vintage Kenner Superpowers line. It amazed me as a kid because I'd had Mego doll size action figures. I'd had Mego pocket superheroes. The doll size ones were good, but they were too big and they weren't fun to play with as a result. Just to be honest, as a child, too big, too much like Barbie.
Yeah.
The pocket superheroes, while neat in and of themselves, being a kid, I was interested in having my superheroes look like the superheroes that I read in the comic books and not like they looked. They had limited articulation. I think it was 5 points: head, arms, legs. That was it. And the paint jobs weren't all that great. And Batman had this squishy head that you could pop on and off. I didn't like that either. So, I mean, you had all these shortcomings of toys, and then suddenly we had a toy line that looked like Jose Garcia Lopez's artwork, because that's what it was based on. It looked amazing to me as a child. Cloth good capes with Superman's S printed on it. Superman's S legibly on his chest and not scribbled on or a sticker.
Yeah.
Okay. Batman, Hawkman, superheroes I'd never seen before as a figure line. Wonder Woman, Aquaman, on and on. And then it got even obscure as the line increased and went over into the second and even third waves. So yeah, that was my that's it, and to this very day my favorite line. It's why I'm collecting the Todd Fathers revival of the Superpowers line, which I have issues with, and some of those issues have been resolved. Some of them they've attempted to resolve them, but not to my satisfaction. But otherwise, it's the closest thing that we're ever going to get to a revival of that line and more figures to go in that line. Are there issues with the line? Well, hell yeah, there's issues with the line. Part of the problem is that they're putting out the same figures over and over again, repainted, or they're not giving us villains like we want, or the villains that we do get, they're making them Walmart exclusive, so we can't get them because Walmart doesn't have them, or we can't find them, or we have to go to Evil Bay and pay scalping prices for them, which I've already done with Black Mass. I'll admit it. It wasn't overly too much, I don't think, but I mean, I had to pay more than I would have at retail. But yeah. Now, what is the second most favorite line? It is Masters of the Universe, and it's Masters of the Universe Origins. Now, I like the vintage stuff. Yes, the vintage figures, nostalgia. I've got them. I put them away. I've got leg bands to replace on them that I'll probably never do because I've got figures that look even better and that I'd rather play with. Do I play with my toys? That's the next question that somebody's going to ask me. Yes, yes, I do. I even take the spaceships and go.
That's
And every
awesome.
time I get somebody on my show, I get them to admit it. When nobody's looking, they do the same damn thing. But I do it when they are looking. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. I don't give a care. Bill stopped reading when he got to the second question. Lo, laughing my ass off. Oh well, no, he explained that to me, but because I'm quite ignorant of that. Because let's face it, guys, when you get your own YouTube channel, all that YouTube watching that you did in the past, it stops because now you're focused on your own channel. Chris, yes, he shows up in my chats and says hello, but I bet he doesn't stay for long because he's got other things to do. And there's only so much you can do when you're focused on one of these channels before you get burned out if you watch everybody else. I don't like to watch everybody else because I'm afraid they'll influence me. And I don't want to get accused of stealing other people's stuff. And you know,
I'm the same with reviews. I don't watch other people's reviews anymore.
Chris, Batman says you play with your toys.
Yeah, we all do. Like you said, whether we want to admit to it or not, we do it.
Oh yeah. Well, I have one of my most uptight viewers who sits there and says, all I do is put my toys on display. I said, look, let's just say that you're moving the display toys around and you pick up the Talon Fighter. Do you go? And he went, yeah.
Oh man, when I was doing a review on this guy, I was just Naruto figure, SH Figure Arts.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing around with this guy, just moving him around, just looking at him, and I was looking at my camera, and before I knew it was 18 minutes past, and I just spent 5 minutes playing around with him. I just forgot I was doing a review. That's how much I actually loved this figure. But go to show you, yeah, like I was playing with my toy, man. Like I loved it. I do get lost when I'm doing reviews. I get sidetracked, and I just get caught up in the toys. And
Cabbage
do I
Patch
act out
Dolls.
scenes? No, but I do play around with them.
Real Batman's. I don't know what he just says. Cabbage Patch Dolls. Now look, I'm 53 years old. I remember when Xavier Roberts made the Cabbage Patch line, and the only way to get it was to buy them from him, and they had cloth heads, not plastic heads. And I forget what toy company bought the rights to that and started releasing the dolls, and then everybody had had big fights in Walmart, beating each other's ass trying to get Cabbage Patch Kids for their dolls. I remember all of that. My mother, bless her heart, she's been gone now for over 10 years. My mother was a doll collector. Okay. Now, there's a difference between doll collecting and toy collecting. Doll collectors are a special breed of people. They buy dolls. I'm talking about the creepy ones, with the eyes that follow you around the room when you're watching and all that kind of crap. Mother had a collection of Cabbage Patch dolls. When she passed, we had to get rid of all that stuff, and I found somebody who wanted to buy them. Oh, okay. EP was one of them fighting over the Cabbage Patch dolls. I saw it. It says a real Batman. Okay. Hey, look, this is what I always say. Picture it never happened. I need video proof, Jack.
He likes. I like to tease him about collecting Barbies. He teases me about collecting Cabbage Patch. It's a long running joke between me and RB.
Well, I'll tell you, talking about Masters of the Universe, I know a lot of people in the Masters of the Universe collecting who also collect She-Ra, Princess of Power.
Yep.
They have crystal castles. They have swift wind horses. They have the little dolls with the combable hair. That they made the girl department took She-Ra away from the Motu team because they were jealous that Master Universe was out selling Barbie. So the girl toy department took it away from them, and they took She-Ra, and instead of molded hair, they gave her combable hair so little girls could do the hair play with it and all that. But yeah, plenty of Motu collectors do collect that stuff. I don't, but I know friends of mine who do, and there's nothing wrong with it. My Little Pony is the best. Yeah. Uh, if you look back on my blog years and years ago, I posted failed Christmas presents, and one of them was the My Little Pony glue factory. And you could see the little ponies going up the ramp into the glue factory, and then there was the Elmer's glue truck out back, So I guess, that's My Little Pony glue factory. I would probably play with that when I was a kid.
Payne's
Payne's
Toy
Toy
Samples is there.
Hey man, how's it going? Good to see you.
Thanks for stopping by. All right,
Glad
so
you.
how long have you been making content altogether?
Do you want me to go all the way back to the Sea Monkeys? That would be 2013.
2013. Wow.
Yeah. And that was sporadic, off and on. And look, when I actually started doing this for realsies, I already had 250 subscribers. Where they came from, I don't know, or why they even subscribed to me, I do not know. And it was just because I guess people were watching the videos that I had posted and subscribed to me. Like I said, every once in a while I would post something like a slideshow, basically, of toy photography. Like, for instance, there's a Doctor Who slideshow on there. Starts out like a Doctor Who show with opening credits, and then it's a slideshow with toys with Doctor Who music in the background, copyrighted, of course, copyright ID struck. So, oh well, I didn't care at the time. And at the end, it has ending credits. I did the same thing with Shogun Warriors and stuff like that. And then I guess it was 2 years ago, around Christmas time, I posted, a little bit before Christmas time, probably in October, November. I posted. Oh, excuse me, my wife's calling here. Let me take that call.
All right, let's get down to the chat here. So we have Payne's Toy Samples. We already said hi. Vixney is here. Did I miss much? We're just kind of chatting and going back and forth. If you want to go back and check the replay, feel free to do so. But just kind of chatting about toys. We had a few questions done, but ARB, hey Vixney, hey Bricktastic Lego Ideas, thanks for stopping by. EP dances naked to Dr. Zeus, obviously, man. Green eggs and ham is my jam. How can you not dance with Dr. Zeus?
Oh, sorry about that. I'm back, and I've lost my train of thought.
No worries. So from 2013 is pretty much when you started making content.
I started in 2013, but it was Christmas 2 years ago. I did a toy video of my Masters of the Universe collection that I had at the time, the Origins collection.
Yeah. That
video went viral. For some reason, I got 25,000 views in 2 days on that thing. And so then I made a couple more videos. I had a lot of spare time then because I wasn't actually working as hard as I am now. I didn't have the job I have now. And I made a couple of what I call limited stop motion videos where my Masters of the Universe Origin figures acted out the original storybook storyline from the storybooks that were included with the figures. Some of the stories. I'm one of these days I'll finish that up. There's 2 more stories I need to do, but those went off real well.
Yeah.
And my daughter said that I need to start really doing this for real. And I said, nobody's going to watch this crap. She said, you'll never know unless you try. So I said, all right, what the hell? So I tried live streaming. That was a shit show, people. If you want to go back and watch my very first live stream, it's funny, but not because it's ha-ha funny. It's funny because watch the idiot funny. Okay? But I started out that way, and I don't know. People were attracted to the idiocy. They came and watched. They came and subscribed. They came and when I got my Patreon started, they started donating money and becoming patrons. When I set up my first, this is over at Streamlabs. I set it up so you get tips off of Streamlabs. I started getting tips on Streamlabs that looked like super chats on YouTube, but I get more money out of that than because I don't have to pay YouTube their cut, and Streamlabs cut's very small. So
Yeah.
I was blown away by that, and then I was blown away by the progression of subscribers I was getting. Now I got a whole bunch real quick. I got to 500 real quick, and then it kind of leveled off for a little while, and then here after the first part of this year, it started increasing again. I don't know what I'm doing right or whether YouTube has decided to let me off the chain for a little while. But yes, YouTube does suppress us in the algorithm, and there's things that we can do to try to defeat that, which is leaving likes. So, Chris over here, you need to leave him some likes. You need to put some comments in his comment box after this live stream is over with. You need to share these videos that he makes with your friends on YouTube. Use the share button on YouTube to share them to Facebook and Twitter, formerly X, formerly known as Twitter, and all that other social media nonsense. But yeah, that feeds that algorithm. It makes it look like that. Well, it is okay. It shows that he is getting interaction with his videos, which increases your viewers because they'll put you on the front page and let people and they'll push your video out there. If you're not getting these things, if you're not getting those interactions, then you get a little suppressed. So
yeah, it's the algorithm is very, very finicky. It's I spent a lot of time going through analytics, trying to understand it. I understand it for shorts. I know what to focus on for shorts to get subscribers, but when it gets to long form content, I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble with retention.
well,
I'm having trouble with.
I'm not telling you not to do your short. I'm not telling you not to do your
Oh
shorts.
yeah, no,
Your shorts are what's growing your channel. Do what works. But this is a proven fact. Shorts kill your long form videos.
oh yeah, yeah,
And they do.
oh yeah.
And
My shorts get pushed. My videos don't.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I stopped doing shorts because I want my long form videos to be the meat of my channel. I subbed when he appeared on my brother's stream. Now that'd be Ozzy, right? Yeah, that Ozzy is one of the greats out there. If you're not subscribed to Ozzy's Ostradamus Toys, then you need to do so.
Yeah, great channel, great guy too.
He is, and he's everywhere, and he's all over the place, and he's got Instagrams and all that stuff, and he's like the glue right now of the Instagram toy community. So yeah, good guy.
He always has a lot of people on his streams too.
LeBron Fett, good to see you.
Yeah, Aaron is Payne's toy sample.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think you covered what got you started and the reason you started. So what's the best thing about having a YouTube channel in your opinion?
Okay. This is an interesting question, and I don't know how other people answer it, but I want to answer it like this. I toil all week long at a shitty job. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. I can't play. I can't interact with other people. I'm at work and doing my work all day long. I live for the weekends when I get on YouTube, and my friends come and they hang out in my chat and they talk to me and I talk back to them. And sometimes they guest on my show. And sometimes I guest on their shows. And that's the best thing about YouTube. Now, are there downsides to it? Yeah, but I don't want to talk about that unless he makes me.
I think that may be a question later on, but we'll see. Do you have any regrets about starting a channel or anything like that? If you had your time back, would you still go through with it? And
I wouldn't change the thing. I wouldn't change the thing right now. I don't have any true regrets. I will say this, okay, and it's not within the toy community. The toy community here that I'm a part of is special. It's one of the nicer communities I've ever been in. I've been in some really, really, really toxic communities. Doctor Who is one of the worst. Okay. Or at least it used to be. I don't know what it's like now because I don't hang out over there anymore. But I have had some interactions with other YouTube channels. Some good, some bad. One really, really bad. I'm not really going to go into that. I'm not going to mention any names, but it wasn't a whole lot of fun. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I can tell you that in some of my experimentations of trying to see what I could get away with and what I could do here on YouTube, uh, I did something I don't recommend anyone do. There are some people out there who still do it, and I know one other person who's gotten burned by it. Carol may know that person too. Don't ever put your StreamYard link in and pin it in your chat so that anybody can get on your channel. Don't do that, okay? You never know what you're going to get. Yes, you can find some really, really cool and interesting people that way. You can also find the scum of the earth that way. You can find some really, really disturbed people who need to have some help. They they need help you are not qualified or able to give them. I had one of those people appear upon my channel one night in the middle of the night when I was doing a 24-hour stream that I probably shouldn't have been doing. I wasn't very mentally alert at the time that he came on. Luckily, I had Jim Largo with me to kind of help me with that. And I had two guests on there, and one of them is a dear, dear friend of mine, and the other one was this butthole. And he was kind of mean to her in a way that I wasn't able to recognize and
Yeah.
stop at the time. I learned a lesson on that. So yeah, there are downsides to this, and there are lessons to be learned, and some of them you can learn from other people's mistakes, and some of them you just got to step in the cat crap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wipe off your shoe and clean it up and move on.
So what's your overall goal of the channel? Obviously, is it to get monetized or grow it as as much as you can?
Well, I could sit here and lie, and it would be a lie, people, right now, and say all I want to do is share my passion for toys. My passion for toys is the reason for the YouTube channel, yes. My overall goal, not that I'm have any chance in hell of ever reaching it, but if I don't reach for it and try for it, I certainly will never get it. Yeah, just same thing I told my wife the other day. What if I had 5,000 people who became channel members and gave me just $1 a piece? That would be $5,000 a month. Why? I could quit my job.
Yeah.
If I did that, I could do this channel full time and get even better.
Yeah.
And if I had even more support, I could hire a video editor and I wouldn't have to edit my own videos. And then I could really go places.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my overall goal, the real behind the reason, I'll admit it, is I would love to become Mr. Beast and make billions of dollars on YouTube and tell everybody to kiss my butt and take this job and shove it and go out the door and go home and become a star. But in reality, I know that's never going to happen. So I'm not quitting my day job anytime soon. Does that make sense, Chris?
Yeah, no, I appreciate your honesty, man. It's yeah, like you got to have goals and you got to try. And I appreciate your honesty and I appreciate your mindset of like that's what
But
you want to do. And
but I still love to play with my toys.
yeah,
And
yeah,
if you watch me on the channel, you can see that. And I want to share that with everyone. I don't want to become I don't know how to put this. I don't want to become one of those people who's just cranking out content just for the bucks.
yeah.
I want to have things that mean something to me on my channel and to share with you. It's my passion.
RB is going insane in the chat. He likes to try to make me laugh and try to make me break, right?
He says EP lies all the time.
That I do not. All right. I'm a lot of things in this world, but a liar is not one. So just to be serious for a second, yeah, a liar is not one, but oh man. Uh, so you said you do pay attention to the numbers. Like, do you get caught up in the numbers? Do you get upset with the numbers and stuff like that?
I
No.
used to. I used to. Back. This happens to everyone when they start their YouTube channel. Okay, especially when. Hey, Rolando, good to see you, man. Rolando is everywhere and all at
He
one
is.
time. I don't know how he does it, and he also is. He's all over the place in the United States. If you go to his Instagram page, you can see him showing off what's in Walmart and Targets all over the East Coast. So I don't know how you do it, man. EP talking shit in the live stream I was on last night. Okay. All right. EP, prove it. Barbie or Cabbage Patch? He's probably got them both, man. Leave him alone. What were we talking about? Numbers. Look, everybody who starts a YouTube channel, especially when they start gaining a lot of subscribers at once and some videos start really getting some traction and doing like this, you start you find yourself at work grabbing the phone and looking at your analytics and getting all wrapped up in your analytics and trying to figure out what you can do. And then you start watching the grifters on YouTube who run the YouTube channels that tell you do this one thing and you'll become Mr. Beast, which is a lie.
Oh,
Pay me money and I'll show you how to get SEO'd and all that kind of crap. And then they become like cockroaches in your Instagram IM sliding in there trying to get you to pay them some money. Remember, folks, you can block those asses and do it because that's
for
sure. It's a money making bit. But yeah, I got wrapped up in that for a little while, and it bothers your mind. It messes with your head, okay? And you don't need that, okay? You need to clear your mind and focus on what you're doing and not worry about that. That's going to happen all on its own.
Yeah.
You know, what is it? Field of Dreams. You build it and they'll come. Well, build your channel. Make the best channel you possibly can. Someday I'm going to have a gaming computer in here. Someday I'm going to have a better internet connection. Someday I'm going to have a real microphone with one of them flappy things in front of it, like the cool guys have. Yeah. But until then, I'm going to work with what I've got and collect my money until I can afford to get that stuff. But you have to build it. Okay. Getting wrapped up in your analytics is going to take you off the path to getting that stuff, because then you're going to be concerned about that instead of being concerned about what you need to be. So I think Chris and I were talking about that before. Yeah, look at your analytics, figure out what's going on with your channel, but don't do it on a daily basis. Do it every once in a while. It's kind of like you ever tried losing weight? I lost a whole bunch of weight over a short period of time here about 5 years ago when I quit drinking. Okay. Don't get on the scale every day.
Yeah.
Don't go on the scale twice a day, because your weight fluctuates constantly during the day, depending upon whether you've gone to the bathroom or whether you drank a whole lot of water or whether you just got through eating supper or whatever. Weigh yourself once a week, and then you'll see what the real progression is at that point. It's kind of like watching the stock market as well. You buy some stock. Don't watch the stock market every day, because the stuff is doing this all day long, and then you're getting a headache by it. It's the same thing with these analytics.
Yeah, no, I agree. I let it get better than me, but I post daily, and I'm on YouTube Studio daily. You know, filling out your description, your hashtags, and all that stuff. So it's like it's always there. It's always there in front of me.
It's staring you in the face. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Do you do it on your phone or do you do it through your computer?
A bit of both, but mostly my phone.
See, the phone stats look at you a whole lot harder than I think the computer stats do, because the first thing you see is that first page when you open up your phone stats, and those numbers just bust at you. And the biggest one on there is your subscriber count.
As soon as it opens up, right? It's just there. So, like, in order to do anything, your sub count is there. So, yeah, it's kind of hard if you're posting daily or every couple of days to not see the numbers. And obviously, they're there. You like, you know what I mean? So when you see it, you can't help but focus on it. I know I can. I try to get away from it, but if I'm posting, I'm seeing it. So
And I'm looking at the chat right now. Okay, so we got T3 Collects, who's like 112 subs away from 1K. Keep going, and he
yeah,
also says that I'm listening. I'm looking at him talking about YouTube will mess with you. They do. Okay, they take subscribers away from you. They take viewing hours away from you. Uh, as you begin to get higher and higher on the food chain, when you start getting more and more subscribers, when you start getting monetized, they go back. I don't know
oh
if
yeah,
a human is doing it or whether a robot's doing it, but they go back and they shuffle through your videos and then they start dinging shit that never got done before.
yeah.
And that's just a mess with you. It's a messing with you. And I have successfully on some of them challenged it and won, and on some of them I have not. It's just a play the game thing. You play the game. You don't hate the player. You hate the game, but you have to play it in order to win. Yeah, it has gotten worse over the years. Yeah, it's broke.
Oh yeah,
The algorithms broke. The ability to talk to a person is non-existent. Okay, you're interacting with a computer, or just an absolute
oh yeah,
no. You know, it's just nobody has any common sense. Yeah, it's all broke.
yeah. They are bad for taking subs though. I was looking at my analytics last week. I've lost almost 3,500 subs in the last 2.5 years of having a channel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I've looked at my sub losses. If I didn't have sub losses, I'd already be completely monetized.
oh yeah,
And let me address Cobb over here. He's a good friend of mine. He says, I'm just taking this all in. I haven't been around long enough to really want to get into everything. I'm just trying to have fun. Look, that is the ultimate thing right there.
yeah.
Okay. Chris will tell you this. When this stops being fun, I'll probably stop doing it. Now, I'm going to Gene Simmons you for a minute. All right. Gene Simmons one time was on a talk show. I can't remember who it was. And the man asked him, he said, Gene, do you believe money can buy you happiness? And of course, this is Gene Simmons now. He spells his name with dollar signs, right?
Yeah.
Gene says, no, I do not believe that money can buy you happiness. But what I do believe is that money can buy you comfort. And if
Yes.
you're uncomfortable, you can't be happy.
Very true.
There's something to that. So yeah, have fun. And try, but as your channel begins to grow and you start spending money, you need more money, and you got to keep it going. And sometimes it can get dreary, but don't ever let it not be fun, because if it stops being fun, you really need to stop doing it, because now you're in a toxic situation. It's not good
Yeah.
for your mental health.
I've walked away, and not walked away, but I've slowed down a lot. Like there's times I walked away and not walked away, but took breaks for
Yeah.
4 or 5 days. Took a week off. Now the way I do it, when I do a review, so now when I do a review and I got a figure in front of me, I'll do 2 or 3 shorts of the same figure. So a lot of times my shorts, I could have 2 or 3 shorts of the same figure, but I don't really have a lot of time to record anything, right? So I always have shorts recorded for when I want to take it easy, or when I don't want to record, when I don't want to do anything. You know what I mean? Right now, I'd say, I'm going to be completely honest. Right now, I have 620 reviews started.
Mm-hmm.
And short.
I'm amazed, because I can tell you right now what my goal in my mind was at one time was, man, I'll do all these videos and then I'll have them already uploaded to YouTube and set
Yep.
private or whatever, and then I'll drop them once a week, and I'll have it already done.
I overwhelm myself.
Yeah, that never happened in my
No,
case.
I've did intros for a lot of
Messing
videos
with
and stuff like that.
views like hours, what? um, I know what TikTok is. TikTok is a mind control device from China to destroy American youth's minds and some adults as well. So I don't have it downloaded on my phone and I don't use it, but apparently it's short form videos like YouTube is trying to mock here on YouTube with their shorts.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, Americans' attention spans have grown so small that the blip verts from Max Headroom have become a reality. Show
Oh,
my
it's
age.
yeah, it is. My attention span, ever since I started making content, my attention span's gone to nothing, man. Like, if I'm not if I'm watching a movie, if I'm doing something, I'm always fiddling with my phone. I always got to be fiddling with something as I'm doing something else. I got to be multitasking, doing 2 or 3 things. I'm trying to get away from that. It's ridiculous, but
It is. It is. Of course, the old meme. Everybody's sitting down at dinner, but everybody's got their phone in their hand.
Oh,
yeah. I try to stay away from doing that. Do I succeed? Always no, but I am 53 years old and Gen Xer, so I watched technology come around, and I watched what I can remember what was with loving with a loving mind. So I try not to let the thing rule me, and I try not to get too much out there. But in order to play with all these toys, you have to be able to use the shit. So
yeah. So T3 collects said EP walk away. To be completely honest, I've thought about walking away so many times in the last 2.5 years. So much so last September I was at 500 subs, and I was very, very frustrated with it all. And I told my son, I was like, I'm done. This is not fun anymore. I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. My son got upset. Yeah, and I said, okay, Dad will give it one more try. And I gave it one more try, and I actually invested in a MacBook, which made everything so much easier instead of like trying to edit on my phone.
yeah,
And then I'm going to be completely honest. Thanks to you, this microphone is
yeah.
your Patreon money. You paid for this microphone. You
See,
honestly did.
that's the reason that once again, I'm looking at you, chat. Okay, if I'm the only person that is subscribed to this man, there's something wrong. Okay, so what? $1 a month, $5 a month? Come on, how much is that damn Starbucks coffee that you drink every day cost? You think of it like that, and maybe you'll help somebody. I bet he does.
Yes, I do. Well, I tried to leave a comment, you sookie baby.
Did you see the update where you can see what subscribers are watching your videos? EP hasn't watched one of my videos in 3 weeks. That shit don't work.
No,
That's just like over here on StreamYard. Okay, over there in that corner over there. If you're on StreamYard, you'll see how long you've been live, and beside it, it tells you your viewer count. That's a lie. Okay. The people that are in your private chat are talking, yes, but there are people that are actually watching you that aren't saying a word in the chat. They're just watching you. You don't know who they are, but they're there.
here, T3. See?
Yeah.
See the red lines there, buddy?
Yeah.
They're all watched.
Yeah. Rat
your
Face
live streams.
44 reviews. Hey man. He's messing with you. We got him
Yeah,
laughing.
I know.
But yeah, the numbers do lie. Now, that reminds me of something my statistics professor told me in college. He said, "Figures don't lie, but liars figure." I'm 47, and I've been here long enough to know that this platform is getting worse. Content creators should stand with one another and not against one another. YouTube needs to do better. And that's true. And in the toy community, we do help one another. That's why we're sitting here touting one another's channels. That's why we're supporting each other. And the new technology is out there, Rumble, Odyssey, all that. And it's so easy. I've already done it with Rumble. I think I'm going to try it with Odyssey next. Go and create you a channel on Rumble, you can start porting all of your YouTube videos over there easily. There is a
Oh,
tool
okay.
over there that does it. I'm in the
Wow.
process of porting all my videos over there now, and everything that I do is automatically uploaded to Rumble right now. I don't have to go to Rumble and do it.
Oh,
I
okay.
just upload it to YouTube. It goes over there to Rumble automatically. And if YouTube strikes one of your videos or takes your channel down, all that shit that's over there on Rumble don't get touched.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, embrace the new platforms, the new stuff, because it'll be there as sort of a safety net for you if YouTube ever decides to really mess with this.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, is there any channel that you haven't worked with yet that you would like to work with?
Hmm. Hmm. Well, I'll tell you, the those big boys that are out there, the ones that like the Pixel Dans and stuff like that. If they ever asked me to be on their show, you know what the answer would be, right? Hell yeah, man, I'll be on your show. But as far as reaching out like that, no, I'm not going to reach out. I want to be reached out to, because that lets me know that you want me to be there. I don't want to be like the little kid chasing the big boys. I want to do it too. I want to do it too. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no, fair enough.
I mean, if somebody wants me on their show, I'm more than happy to be on the show. If somebody wants to be on my show, I'm more than happy to give them a chance. You
Yeah.
might only get one chance, depending upon how you act, but you know how that goes.
So, what's your top 5 toy related YouTube channels? So, if you
Say
had to
that.
sit down,
Say that one more time.
your top 5 toy related YouTube channels that you like to watch.
That I actually watch on a daily basis.
Do you
Toy
watch?
related.
Yeah, like not support your friends or anything like that, but like if you had to sit down just for your own entertainment, for something you wanted to kill a bit of time, relax, whatever the case may be, what is the top 5 YouTube or top 5 toy related YouTube channels that you watch?
Oh wow. Okay. You're taking me back to the days when I actually did that stuff. You know, there was the Geek Dad Life, there was the retro blasting, analog toys over there, Tony. Um, who else? I'm missing somebody. Of course, Grindhead Jim. Now, let me tell you guys something. Yes, Grindhead Jim is a personal friend of mine. We've become friends over the years. He is probably one of the most entertaining men that I know as far as watching a YouTube channel. All right. Uh, then that's because the gift of gab comes natural to him. He was in the Game Chasers movie, so he's an actor. He was a drummer in a grindcore band. So, but he has this ability to just chat, and he talks about them. He had a video today I haven't had a chance to watch, but I will. You know, and he's doing this new thing where he's going around his toy room in 7 days, where he opens his toys in his
Yeah.
toy room. But he always has a topic on Toy Grinds on Monday. I don't know. He pulls this shit out of his ass, I guess, but I don't know how he does it. Okay. I skid by the skin of my teeth, you know, all the time, trying to come up with ideas of what to do. And this man can just start chatting about anything he wants to at a hat drop. So there's him. You know, I think I said Pixel Dan already, but yeah, Pixel Dan. I watch him. The problem with all those guys are, when you first start watching them and the content is fresh and new, right?
Yep.
And it's always something that you want to try to catch up on. And see, this happens to all the best of us. It even happens to us, Chris. After a while, it becomes a little stale.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I don't want to. I'm not trying to go down on anybody's channel here at all.
Yeah.
But sometimes the creator becomes a curmudgeon. He's not a happy creator anymore. He's not happy about the toys he's talking about anymore. It's always nothing but complaints and rants, and that gets kind of old as well.
Yeah.
So I try to catch these channels every now and then, but watching them on a constant daily basis, no. And I also look, I play with toys. Okay, that's what I do for for my fun. I watch toy channels every now and again. I watch toy reviews. I do my own toy reviews. I don't want to burn myself out on this either.
Yeah.
So I want to vary what I watch. So sometimes I watch a lot of stuff that has nothing whatsoever to do with toys.
That's my next question.
We go right on into that. Okay, you got Nerd Erotic, which I enjoyed watching for a little while until I found out that if you watch him on a daily basis, he says the same thing over and over and over again. So he's entertaining, and I do watch him from occasion to occasion, but I can't watch him on a daily basis because it becomes repetitive.
Yeah.
The same thing goes with Doomcock. Okay, if you've ever gone over there and watched Overlord DVD, he's got high production values. It's funny as heck. I cannot watch his live streams because I don't like hearing him sing without his helmet on to his patrons, and it gets old. But
Yeah.
every once in a while, I like to sit there and giggle about that crap that he says, take with a grain of salt, because it's always something that he's made up or somebody's made up and told him. But one of my favorite channels right now. See, my favorite channel changes from day to day depending upon what I'm watching. But right now, one of my favorite channels is the Why Files. It's that kooky conspiracy stuff, Bigfoot, UFOs. Did aliens build the pyramids? Crap, And but the way they present that, you have a man sitting there and talking to a talking fish in a goldfish bowl. The fish is a conspiracy theorist, so the goldfish bowl has a tinfoil hat over it, and they will present it as it, whatever this urban legend is or whatever it is, they will present it in its raw form to you, and then he'll go back at the very end and he'll tell you what he could find out in reality about that.
Yeah.
Whether it disproves what it was, or whether there's a blank in there that maybe this could have been. But it's funny, it's entertaining. The way they interact with one another is entertaining. The little goldfish has little teeth in his mouth, and he talks. I mean, I just find that fun. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's that. Ultimately, when I'm by myself or I've just come home from work, that's the kind of stuff I tend to watch. Do I watch the toy channel? Sure, I do. Do I watch my friend's channel? Sure, I do. I try to catch all that stuff, but I can't do it all. I'm not able to be in multiple places at once. I just cannot. But much enough. Oh, look, there's Pop Actor Rick. Pop Actor Rick has opinions. You know what I've told you what opinions are like, right? Anyway, my opinion is if a YouTuber goes more than 1 hour like a live TV show, you lose your audience's attention span and your viewer list is non-existent after a certain point. Well, it's true after a certain point. I'll grant you that, but I've limited myself to the 2 hour mark on my channel. Sometimes I go over. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
And sometimes Pop Actor Rick, at the 2 hour mark, I'll start gaining viewers. It happened to Chris. I've seen it happen to Chris. Chris is getting ready to hit the dump button and stop, and suddenly 15 people show up, right? And it's because these people are just now getting the notifications. Once again, YouTube is broken. Yeah. Carol telling Rick, yeah. And by the way, Rick, I got something for you. Okay. I saw that you don't have something. It's not Moss Man now. No, it's not Moss Man, but it is something that you want. It's something that you were wanting to go to the UK to buy. You do not need to do that. You do not need to go to the Evil Bay and get scalped by a scalper. That old Uncle Bill will take care of you, brother. I got your address already. I'm going to package this thing up and I'm going to send it to you. It ain't Moss Man. I mean, you enter the Wheel of Fortune contest to win the Moss Man, and you got your chances like everybody else. And no, a carton of cigarettes will not buy me off on that. No, it's
So,
not a
what's your
woman.
greatest milestone since you started, or that you're most proud of since you started a channel?
Actually having channel members.
Yeah.
Actually having someone super chat me more than $50.
Wow.
That was a supporter of mine from back in the old days. Why he wanted to support me, I do not know, but he's been a dear friend of mine. He doesn't always hang out in the chats like he used to,
Yeah.
but every once in a while he comes in and he donates me some money. He's one of my biggest patrons on Patreon. So
Awesome.
yeah, it's just great. Yeah, it's not a woman, Rick, but yeah, you're welcome. You're going to get this in the mail. Now, don't be looking for it tomorrow or anything. I got to get it packaged up and everything. I'm probably going to send it off when I send off the winners from my little contest I'm running. Do you run contests, Chris?
No, I never got into giveaways or contests or anything like that. It's I can't. The way my personal life is and my schedule and my work schedule, I can't plan stuff. That's why I don't always have guests, right? Because sometimes I just can't stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of always a spur of the moment. And when I do my live streams too, like I post maybe 20 minutes or a half hour, an hour before I know I'm going to go live. Sometimes it's just like 10 or 15 minutes before I go live because I just can't commit to a set time, right?
All right. So now here, I told you that this would happen. I'm going to start interviewing you because I'm not used to being interviewed. So you don't have a set time that you go on live every week?
Average. So it's either from 7:30 my time to probably 8:30, 9 o'clock. But it's usually around 7:30, 8:30. But it's not a set time.
May I suggest that you do a set time?
Oh yeah, I know.
Have a set show. That's what I've done here, and it's evolved.
Yeah.
We got late night on Saturday night. Starts at 10 o'clock Central Time, runs for 2 hours. It's like a variety show. We got Sunday Hangout. Starts at 12 noon Central Time, runs on Sunday. It's all about toys. Everybody knows when I'm going to be on, and it's amazing to me because I'll be doing pre-show work and already have the link set up, the coming link. And all of a sudden I'll look over and I'll see that my chats have starting up. And I'm looking on, there's people in my chats waiting for my show to start because they know what it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, I've been there. I've been commenting before your show even started.
Then you have them come in and they say, well, I'm glad I decided to come on over here because YouTube never sent me my notification. So that tells me YouTube's broke.
Yeah. So I definitely need to stick to a certain time. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. So now it's kind of a personal question, but it's not like personal. But are you into music?
Yes.
All right, top 5.
I'm not as into music as I was when I was younger, but yes, and it's all 70s and 80s rock and roll, heavy metal.
So top 5 favorite bands.
Oh God. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna have to
this always puts everybody on the spot, so that's why I like it.
All right, we got Deep Purple.
Yep.
We got Iron Maiden, Def Leppard, Aerosmith, AC/DC, Kiss. That's more than 5.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I mean that's 6, and you said 5, so I could go on, but yeah, I mean all that good stuff. Led Zeppelin, hell, that should have been number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I listen to. I remember one time, this is when my daughter was just a little girl. They all decided to have a bowling party, so it was going to take 2 cars to take all the kids to the bowling. So Dad's smart. Okay. All you boys get in the car with me, and all you girls get in the car with my wife, and we're going to go to the bowling alley. And when the day was over with, my daughter came to me and she goes, I guess it was her boyfriend at the time. She said, he said all you did was listen to old people rock and roll music. I said, yep. That's exactly what I listen to.
I was born in 1984, and I listened to everything that you just listed off. So, no, you got. I'll give you credit, man. You got good taste in music.
Thank you.
So, obviously, you're into movies, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Oh God. Now you're making me think.
Oh, that's the point, man. Nice and easy questions first, but then you got to dig deep for the later ones.
Yeah. There's so many movies that I like. Uh, and so many different genres. I mean, I'm not gonna go into all this new stuff. And look, I love Marvel movies. They're not in my top fives.
No.
When I'm thinking about top 5 movies, I'm thinking about 2001: A Space Odyssey. Okay. When I'm thinking of top 5, I'm thinking stuff like the Omega Man. When I'm thinking of top 5, I'm thinking stuff like Soylent Green. Okay. I'm thinking about the Logan's Run. I mean, good Lord. Yes, it was cheesy, and yes, the special effects sucked, but it was a thought provoking movie. If you watch that, if you think about the what was behind that,
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of a number 5, The Green Mile, probably one of my most favorite
That's
movies.
a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie.
There's your 5. Now,
Yeah.
are there more? Sure, there are, but
Oh, yeah, definitely. So usually the interview goes in 2 parts. So we covered the YouTube side of it. Now we'll move on to the collecting side of it. Now I know we touched base on the collecting side a little bit, but
Yeah.
how long have you been collecting?
Okay, I'm 53 years old. So I guess I got my first toy when somebody bought that for me when I was a baby. So I guess 53 years. But
Yeah.
what do I have in my collection that's left over from my childhood? Well, I have an Egon that I got from the Real Ghostbusters line when it came out, but I was getting a little too old to collect when I got that. The Superpowers line was the line that I really got into.
Yeah.
I still have a couple of my old Mego figures. I think that their clothes are not on them anymore, but I have the figures themselves. I think it's Batman, Robin. These Shogun Warriors back here are not my Shogun Warriors that I had as a child. That was the one line that nobody ever bought for me when I was a kid that I wanted really, really bad. And when I started adult collecting, I started out getting the things I always wished I had. Evil Knievel's Stunt Cycle, Shogun Warriors. I've got Rom the Space Knight over here, and then that progressed into the toys that I wish they had made back when I was a kid. I've got a whole line of these Doctor Who action figures that Character Options put out when the TV show was revived back in 2004. Of course, I stopped collecting that because I've got everything I would ever want out of that line right now, and I'm just not into it anymore. I collected He-Man, Masters of the Universe. I still got most of my stuff from He-Man when I was a kid. Now, my Castle Grayskull and my Point Dread and my Snake Mountain. I never had Snake Mountain as a kid, but I had to buy those again as an adult because my childhood toys didn't make it to this day. But I still have my action figures. I almost got rid of them at one time, and my daughter wouldn't let me, so they stayed. But I don't display them or have them out anymore because I'd rather just play with my Origins figures. Will McLaughlin, one of my good supporters there. Good to see you, Wilhelm Toy and Hobby. Glad you could join us today. Did I get off base there, or did we cover what you had?
No, you're good, man. You're good. So, what do you collect? Like, I know you touch base on a lot of it so far, but
what do I collect right now? All right.
Yeah.
What have I been spending my money on? Well, Mattel has gotten a great deal of my money with this Origins line. Have I collected every single thing that they've ever put out for Origins? No, I have not. I have most of what was available retail. I have a few of the Mattel Creation stuff that I got lucky on, or somebody give to me, or bought for me, and I paid them back for it. I do have believe it or not, people, and I'll prove it to you one of these days in a video. I have an Origins Castle Grayskull. It's put up. The one that I made and painted for myself that looks 10 times better over here is the one that I play with. Point Dread, yeah, I bought it. The Talon Fighter is sitting on top of my vintage Point Dread set because it's better than what Mattel Creations came out with, which was smaller than the damn original Point Dread. And then it's the opposite with Snake Mountain. I've got a vintage Snake Mountain back here that's been replaced with the Origin Snake Mountain because it is better. Okay.
Yep.
So, I'll admit where admitting it is. So Origins I've been collecting. It's starting to go on the down low. I'm starting to get out of it. There's a couple of vintage figures I'm waiting for them to do. Rio Blast. I think some folks, Mattel put a few CEO kids in Mattel through college with his money. You have too, Rick, Jack. Okay, you have too. Probably more than I have. But anyway, going on back. I want Rio Blast. I know some people want Cyclone. Not really big on him, but there's a couple of figures left for them to do that I'm looking forward to them doing. Did I get Lady Slither? No, I don't even know who Lady Slither is. Okay, I wasn't interested in that. Am I interested in the cartoon filmation line that they're coming out with? Maybe, but I'm not going to pursue that. I think the line is beginning to come to its end, and what you're getting now is you're getting rehashes of the stuff again.
Yeah.
But the time it's in cartoon form. Yeah, the bucks are a little bigger. I've already seen that. I know. But I'm not into that. The original storyline was what I was into. When I was a kid and the cartoon came out, do I enjoy it? Yes, I do. But when I watched that cartoon, I'm like, okay, this isn't the story that I remember when I read the little storybooks that came with the action figures. And that's the story in my mind. So that aside, Superpowers, Todd McFarlane decided to revive that. I'm really big into that right now. Yes, he's pissing me off, but otherwise, by not releasing figures I'd like to see and releasing figures that I can't understand why, Gimp Batman being one of them. But yeah, I'm into that. I like every once in a while getting something that I wish that they had made back in the day that they never did. The cartoon Dungeons and Dragons line, while it has its problems, I've enjoyed, and I have not had any issues with my toys breaking in that line.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because you seemed like you had pretty good luck with the.
Yeah. And now the revival of the LJN line by NECA, it's okay. Apparently they've made it out of plastic instead of chalk, so they don't come broken when you open the package up. Maybe NECA's gotten better at building figures. I don't know. Yeah. I will say this: if you've watched my channel, I broke the chain on Warduke's little scabbard with his sword. But luckily, I have some jeweler's tools here at the house, and I fixed that. But that was probably my clumsy ass. It's probably not their fault. But yeah, I'm into that. I'm going to get Elkhorn the Dwarf. I didn't get the little Zarak, the half orc assassin, but I may. What else am I collecting now? Oh yeah, Fresh Monkey Fiction's coming out with those long box heroes. I got a Rocketeer from that line that's coming that's going to join my Superpowers collection because that's what it's for. I mean, it's the same exact type of figure.
Yeah.
There was another company, I can't remember their name. Somebody in the chat probably will help me out with that released Flash Gordon and the Phantom and Ming the Merciless and the Lineman, Thon the Lineman. I got all those figures. They're going to go in with the Superpowers line. And I also do a lot of diorama building and customizing. I love to customize. So, I was on somebody else's channel the other day. The question is my toy worth more than now that I've customized it, or did I ruin the value of it by breaking it? I don't know.
Do you care about value when it comes to your collection and your toys?
No, because I haven't bought this stuff as an investment, and that's always a mistake. That's what happened to the comic book market. Okay, back in the early '90s, the speculators came in and broke the comic book market, and when the bubble burst, it was sad.
Yeah,
and it could be the same thing with toys. I mean, I don't buy this stuff for an investment. If you look behind me, how much stuff do you see that's packaged and never been opened? Not very much, if any at all. Yeah, there are inbox collectors, and I have no problem with them whatsoever. You play with your toys how you want to, you do you. But my toys look like they're suffocating in those packages, and I think they need to breathe air, so I
They
have to
gotta
let
breathe.
them out.
Gotta let them breathe. So,
Uh,
what's your favorite thing about collecting?
what is my favorite thing to collect, or my favorite thing about collecting?
About collecting.
I get to play with toys, and I'm an adult man.
It is a stress reliever. It does. It helps you separate all the crap that's going around in the world, and yeah, it just helps you zone out and
Now,
relax. That's what it is for me.
now, there's a caveat to this, folks. Yes, it is a stress reliever, and yes, it can be therapeutic, and yes, it can also be very, very dangerous. Okay, plastic crack, if misused, can rob you of food,
Yes.
electricity, and water. And if it gets to that point, then friend, you have a problem. If this is something that you're doing in your spare time with spare money that you have money to spare to I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But don't let it become an obsession. Don't let your room become a hoarder's room. Not that I'm naming anybody.
Mine's all toppled over, but
No, well, yeah.
mine's
I've
getting pretty good.
gotten better. I've gotten better over the years. My wife does help, and I'm I have a special relationship here with my lady. Most of the guys that I know, their woman could care less about collecting toys, and sometimes even disparages the collector about collecting toys. Mine has her own toy collection, so ha 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 ha.
Yeah, my wife doesn't like collecting. Actually, she is into certain things. Like she likes Halloween stuff, so she'll collect those little Scentsy warmers.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Anybody in this world has something that they have a little passion about. And in order to get them to understand your passion, you have to point out their passion.
Yeah,
I feel the same way about this as you feel about that. Sometimes that helps.
yeah. I love seeing her. Like she only recently started collecting over the past couple of years, and I love seeing all the stuff that she got displayed. And she gets happy, she gets excited when she gets something new. So I mean, like I love seeing that, right? So now she kind of understands where I'm coming from with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and we a lot of times when that big bad toy store box comes in with our pile of loot in it, it can be a wonderful experience to open that up, and it always makes for good content as well. Folks love it when I open up my toys and show them off. I'm sorry, real Batman. Maybe you need to go get some professional help. I'm not a professional. I'm the pusher man, Jack. You don't need to come over here.
Yeah, I'm not the best person to talk to about addiction or like plastic crack addiction either.
No, no. Luckily, it hasn't gotten to the point where we're missing meals over here. But
Yeah, no, I'm not that far yet either. I'm actually over the last year or so. I've been tone like I've been holding not holding back, but I've calmed down over the past
yeah,
year
well,
and a half.
we have to be careful because if you're, I know you're in Canada. I don't know where you get your stuff from, but here in the United States, Big Bad Toy Store is the place where a lot of us would shop, or
Yep.
Entertainment Earth or the ilk, Amazon.com sometimes even the Evil Bay. But Big Bad Toy Store knows what they're doing. They have this little thing called Pile of Loot, and then you
Yep.
sit there and you pre-order all this stuff and you have it sent to your pile of loot. Now, when you pre-order it, they don't go ahead and charge your card. They don't charge your card till the figure actually comes in. So then you don't realize how much money that you have wrapped up in this. And every once in a while, it'll all come in at once, and it'll hurt real bad. It'll hurt. You're like, oh shit, all this came in all at once. I meant for it to come in staggered. So you have to be real careful about pre-ordering stuff.
This guy is my plastic crack dealer.
Oh, here we
He's
go.
local. He's local here. Where
Okay,
he orders all my stuff for me, and he makes it way too easy.
you got a toy store. You got a toy store, Steven. You got your little mom and pop toy store there, dealing
Yeah,
out the plastic crack to Chris and
yeah.
all
He
his buddies.
supplies most of our city. To be honest with you, he's
All
well
right.
known in the toy community. Uh, and he's just super nice to deal with too. So it's he makes it too easy to to get access to toys and stuff. So so what got you started? You said like your parents buying your toys and stuff like that with
Pretty
collecting.
much. Yeah. When I was a kid, let's see, what did I start out with? What that I can really remember? Okay, I remember. Now people bought me toys all
Yep.
along, but toys that I wanted. I think that's what you're trying to get at.
Yep.
I remember, besides just superpowers, I remember something else that happened. Marvel Comics released a comic book that was written by Larry Hama, and I got the first issue of that comic book, and it was printed on Baxter paper, which was unusual at the time. Off the comic book stand, because I liked the explosive cover. There was army men jumping out at me and a tank in the background. And I'm like, G.I. Joe, a real American hero. Now, I remember G.I. Joe, Action Joe, and all that, the big action figures, but this was something different.
Yep.
So I took that home and I read that book, not realizing that it was just a comic book that was an ad for some toys. But that's what it was. But it had a good storyline to it, and it was engaging.
Yep.
And then issue 2 came out, and I picked it up from the newsstand, and I looked in the back, and I could actually send off to Marvel and get a subscription at a discount from what I was paying for it at the drugstore, and they would actually send them to my mailbox at the house. I did that. And then I saw the commercials on television for the toys, and I realized these are toys that I can buy at the store. And then they showed up that Christmas at the toy store, and I started buying G.I. Joes. And I really got into G.I. Joe because a friend of mine next door, he was into them as well, so we could have battles and fight.
Yep.
It was fun. And I did that for a while. Do I have my G.I. Joe collection anymore? No. I gave
What?
all of my vintage collection to Grindhead Jim.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
I'm the pusher man once again, because he said he probably would never be able to collect the vintage collection, and I said, here you go. And now he's searching for what he doesn't have, and searching for what he needs to complete things that were incomplete, like the fort and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, and of course, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. That story is a story in and of itself. Shit, we've been on for an hour and a half. Anyway, I'm gonna tell this story. So, my sister
Just want
was
to say
50.
goodnight to RB. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Appreciate you coming and stopping by.
Thank you, sir. No,
No, the jokes didn't offend anybody.
no,
Don't
you're
worry about it.
don't offend me, man. I'm
No,
unoffendable. I'm the one
I
doing
love
all
it.
the offending around here, real Batman.
I
Anyway,
encourage I encourage the crap talking and carry on.
of
That's my
course,
that's my personality.
that's just part of being a man, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's how you know if I like someone. If I mess around with someone, that means I like them. And me and
Right
RB always mess around. Me and T3 always mess around with each other.
there, you
It's
go.
it's just fun.
All right, so when I was a little kid, my sister was 15 years older than I was,
Yeah.
which meant that she was married and had a life of her own, and I was just a little kid. So I really didn't know her that well growing up as a sister. She was always an older person that was my sister. But when I was little, I would go out and visit her and stay at her house with her husband uh, in the summer times, and spend 2 3 weeks out there, sometimes a month out there with them during the summer times and summer vacation. And how old was I? God, 1982. So I was 11 years old, going to be 12 on my birthday. Okay. So I'm out there, and she has a friend of hers that has a little boy that's a little younger than me. And so she takes me with her to go visit this lady, and I get to go play with this little boy in his toy room. And he had a toy room kind of similar to mine. It was a room filled with all of his toys. And the first thing that caught my eye in there was he actually had a Hall of Justice playset. I didn't have one of those, and probably wasn't ever going to get one, so I had to go check that out first. And then out of the corner of my eye, I saw these funny looking muscle man toys. And I go over there, and there's a blonde one, and there's this blue guy with a skull face, and I'm like, who are these guys? And he handed me the storybooks that came with the figures, and the artwork was by Alfredo Alcala. Now, I was 12 years old, I knew who Alfredo Alcala was. He did some of my favorite covers on Batman because I was a
Oh,
comic
okay.
book fan. I knew who he was. So I was engrossed in this little simple storyline that told the story of He-Man and the Power Sword. And after I'd read that one, I grabbed the next one and read it, The Vengeance of Skeletor. And then I grabbed the next one, The Battle in the Clouds. And then I grabbed the next one. I can't remember what it was. But, I read these little storylines. And then on the way home was a mall that had a Toys R Us in it. And my sister said, "Do you want to go to Toys R Us?" And I said, "Yes." And so we went into Toys R Us and I could buy one toy. And I bought He-Man and brought him home. And that became the start of my He-Man collection. My mother bought me a Castle Grayskull for Christmas that year. And I got Battle Cat, He-Man I already had. I got a Man-at-Arms. I got Skeletor, Beast Man. And that also around that Christmas time, we went to Memphis, to the Mall of Memphis at the time, which is now no longer there. But there was a toy store in there. I think it was a KB Toys or something like that. And I saw the T-Law figure that I thought I'd never get. And my mom bought me T-Law. So I completed my original 8. I had all the original 8. I had Stratos and Zodak. Zodak was the hardest one to find. I thought T-Law would be. And I got T-Law and Merman and Beastman and Skeletor and He-Man, Man-at-Arms and Battle Cat, Battle Ram. And then for Christmas that year, I got Castle Grayskull so I could play out the storyline.
Awesome. So we probably touched on this, but do you ever regret collecting?
Ooh. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm looking at how much my credit card bill is, and sometimes when I look at how much stuff that I have back here, and I'm really not displaying it properly. It's just all over the place, and I have all these grand designs for what I'm going to do with all of it, and I never find the time to actually do it. I have a few regrets on that, but then I'll start looking at my toys and playing with my toys and looking at the videos that I've made with my toys and thinking about the new videos and pictures that I'm going to make with my toys, and those regrets fade away.
Yeah. Awesome. So is it still fun for you? Obviously, I think you
Yes,
pretty much answered
yes,
that.
yes. It's a great deal of fun. And you talk about toy lines that I collect other than just the mainline stuff. They come out with shit like this. All right, this is a miniature mousetrap game that actually works.
Oh, okay. I
You
haven't seen
know,
that before.
I collect that stuff, and what's really interesting about that is you can have your figures play with that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do weird stuff over here, which kind of goes with the name of the channel, Weird Fantastic Toy
Yeah.
Adventures.
No, that's what
My
it's all about, man.
toys, my toys go on adventures, weird and fantastic. Yes.
Is there any toy line that's out there that you actually like absolutely detest, like that you don't like at all, or you don't understand everybody's appeal to it?
Yes. Funko Pops. Why? What the
Everybody has the same
collects
answer.
that shit and why? And why is it a cancer over there in Walmart in the collector section? You go over there to the collector section, there's like 90% of it is these goddamn Funko Pops that nobody wants that just sit there. You don't ever see anybody actually buying them. And then there's a little bit of stuff over here of NECA. It's always the same old shit. And
Yeah.
and it's because all these Funko Pops are over here just eating away at everything and nobody buying them. And I'm sure there's a landfill somewhere that's filling up with them because they overbought that. Yeah. So
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many people say Funko Pops. I think you already answered this, but do you have some of your childhood toys? I think you
I do.
said that
I
you
do. I do still have a few of them. Some of them I've shared with other people
Yeah.
over the years, but they're most of the original wave of the Superpowers figures are my figures from a child. Everything I've got from wave 2 and 3, all of wave 3, of course,
Yeah.
except for Captain Marvel. I actually found Captain Marvel in a Walmart store when Wave 3 came out, and it was the only figure I had enough money to buy at the time, and I never was able to buy any of the figures. But I have a complete collection of those Superpowers figures, but a lot of them are my childhood figures.
Awesome. So your favorite toy as a kid, would that be Superpowers?
Yeah,
And
I'm
you
gonna.
said you still have it, right?
Yeah, I do, and I have a almost complete collection of those. Even as far as vehicles go, I have a Batcopter, which is one of the hardest ones to find, most expensive.
Yeah.
I do not have a Delta Probe, whatever the hell it was, spaceship that you saw at the beginning of the Super Friends Legendary Superpower show that they never actually used on the show, but it was a toy. I'm about to get to the point where I think I'm going to get one of those. I don't have the Dark Side Destroyer, but I may be getting one of those someday. And I don't have a Justice Jogger, and I have no intention of getting that stupid thing.
So, what's your top five favorite figures in your collection right now?
Okay, in the superpowers, it's probably going to be Superman, Batman, Robin. In the Origins line, uh, in the line proper, it's going to be my custom He-Man figure and my custom Skeletor figure and my custom Man at Arms figure. And I also have another Origins line that you can't collect. You have to make yourself, and that's the Remco figures of Warlord, Hercules, and now
Okay.
Arak that I finished.
Yeah.
So I have that, and then those are probably some of my favorites. They look so cool. Thank you, Lee Customs, for making those head sculpts for me, and that just without those head sculpts, I couldn't have done it.
So, what is your favorite all-time figure or piece that you have in your collection? If you had to grab one thing to save, if your house, say your house is on fire, heaven forbid, or anything like that, but if you just had to grab one figure to save, what would it be?
I would die in the fire.
It'd be hard to choose.
Dude, I have so much stuff in here.
Yeah.
My Shogun Warriors, these jumbo machinders that you see back here behind me, are some of my favorite things. I have all this He-Man stuff, dude. I would be in here burning to death with you'd find my charred body with all these toys in my arms, and I probably wouldn't have hardly made it past the room trying to get out of the house with all this shit in my hands. Is there one thing? No, I can't say there's one thing that I just have to grab, but I'd be wanting to grab as much of it as I could. Hell, I didn't even talk about monster scenes. Have you ever heard of monster scenes?
No. No.
They were actually model kits, but they were model kits of action. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm going to get just Dracula because he's the easiest for me to pick up here. All right. So this is Dracula and Halloween time here. So these are in 1/13 scale. But they have limited articulation.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a model kit. It came in pieces and it had to be painted by hand by me. Okay. And he comes off of this stand that he's on, and there's a set of steps on one of the model kit play sets called the Animal Pit, and he can walk down those steps. It came with a bunch of figures, Vampirella being one of them, one of the few Vampirella figures that there is ever made. Back in those days, in the late 60s, early 70s, when these came out. They were done by, what was the name of that toy company? It escapes my mind right now. My mind's mush. Anyway, yeah, they came out with these, and they had like a torture devices. There's a hanging cage back there with a poor victim inside of it. And there's a pendulum, like from the pit in the pendulum, so you can strap the victim down on it, and the pendulum can cut her in half.
Oh, okay.
and mom and dads had fits over these and protested in front of Nabisco Toy Company after they bought out and then years later, a fellow by the name of Dennis something or another made a company called Dencom, and they reproduced these figures. And I most of these that I have are the repros of them, but I have a full play set basically of these things, and I had to build them and paint them. And, dude, I couldn't put my hand on any one thing. I'm so sorry.
No, I appreciate that.
Anyway, there we go. I had to put him back up where he goes.
Have you dropped any lines recently?
Have I dropped any lines like cocaine? No. You're talking about figures. Okay. Have I dropped any figure lines?
I had to drop Masterverse as much as I didn't want to. I was enjoying.
See, I never got into Masterverse. I decided to stick with the Origins.
Yeah.
Do I appreciate Masterverse? Yeah, that's an appreciable line. I mean, it's nice. As Joneser, my co-host, and has his own channel called Motu Joneser, says, it's the poor man's classics. If you weren't able to get classics when they came out, these are about the most appreciable thing to that.
Yeah.
No, I never got into that.
I had to drop Origins too.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a dropped toy line because I really was never really buying them, but I would buy a piece here or there. We're talking like Legends, Marvel Legends, or Star Wars Black. The last Star Wars Black figure I bought was a Boba Fett figure just so that I could get the flame off of his jetpack to put on my Frogmonger.
Yep.
Now, here we go. My wife has texted me. Oh, yeah. Okay. I know that, Paula. All right. Here we go. All right. Sorry about that.
No worries.
You have to please the old lady. Jackie B says, good night. I'm usually just as offensive, but I didn't have it in me tonight. It's been a long week. Okay. You're about to hit the 2-hour mark. You're starting to lose viewers. But will Masterverse go through the entire end? That is the question. As Doctor Who always says, time will tell. It always does.
Yeah. So a couple quick questions, and then we'll wrap it up. Do you see yourself stopping collecting anytime soon?
No. Do I see myself abandoning a line and starting another line? Probably.
Yeah.
But as far as stopping, there's always going to be something out there that catches my eye that I'll get.
Agreed.
Does that mean I'm going to try to get everything that there is of that? No.
So, what do you think is the best line right now of toys? Like, who do you think is absolutely killing it for consistency, quality?
Well, we all love to bitch and moan and complain about everything that we have, about every toy line that there is, about the way the toy companies treat us, about the fact that they have certain lines that have figures that only are sold in Target or only sold in Walmart or this or that or the other. But think about this for a minute. Go back to when you were a kid and what there was available and really look at what there is available now.
Yeah.
It is a smorgasbord. And yes, I know that there's been distribution problems. We had a manufactured thing that happened that we call the coof here on the YouTube that was foisted upon us and overblown, and the result of that was a lockdown that almost destroyed our economy, and and we're still recovering from that. The toy companies are still recovering from that. The economy is in shambles, and which is one of the reasons why toys cost so much money. I don't want to get overly political on this, but it's just an ism. It's why. Okay, so are there problems with toy companies? Yes, but ultimately you have to remember something. Okay, What is the purpose of any corporation? To make what you want? Not necessarily.
No, make money.
It's to make money, absolutely, and that's economics 101 right there, people. Any company, their number one goal is to make as much money as they possibly can by expending the least amount of money that they possibly can. It's not to please you. It's not to make things that you need. It's not to help society. It's to make themselves richer. Okay, it's the same thing with toy companies. So, is there anybody knocking it out of the park? No, there's not. But looking back at the quality of the toys that we have today compared with what we had when we were kids, 5 points of articulation, don't look nothing like the figure that they're supposed to be a figure of, have nothing to do with the cartoon that they're supposed to be a figure of. I'm looking at you, Voltron. And what we have today, it's incomparable.
Yeah.
Be glad you have what you have today. Yes, there was a USS Flag back when I was a kid, but it was something that no kid could ever afford to get, and no parent could ever afford to get for a kid. Were there a few sold? Sure, there were. I knew a kid that actually had one. He had a basement, and it filled up half of that basement.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, are there play sets like that available today? No, but there could be.
Yeah,
And
sure.
as much as people bitch and moan about Hasbro Pulse and Mattel Creations, that's the future, people. Online sales directly from the toy company, cutting out the middleman. That's the way they're going to survive, and that's the way that we're going to buy toys. Do kids buy that shit? No. Go to Walmart right now and see who's buying the toys that are out there on the boy toy aisle. It ain't little boy. Okay, grown.
It's just as many or more adults there now in
grown ass men. Look, I go over to the Hot Wheels aisle, right? You can tell who those guys are too. You can see them a mile away over there getting them damn Hot Wheel cars. They're grown ass men over there on the Hot Wheel aisle too. Okay, where are the toys that are people buying for kids today? It's not on that boy aisle with all those action figures on it. It's that aisle next to it that have the Paw Patrol figures on it. Okay, you go over there to that aisle now. Wilhelm, if you're still here, you can back me up on this, and you go watch his show and you can see it in action. There's good stuff over there. That's where the future toy collectors are going to be at. That's where these little boys and little girls, they buy toys. And their mom and dad, they buy toys for them. They don't buy them over there where we're hanging out. They buy them in the aisle over here.
Yep.
And dude, if you are a diorama builder, if you want to build dioramas for 1/18 scale figures, that's the aisle to go to. There's just shit over. There's houses, there's garages, there's military bases, there's space bases, spaceships. Yeah, you might have to put a slap a coat of paint on it and make it look decent and get it out of those pastel colors and those garish colors that it's printed in, because they don't have any paint apps on them. But that's where the future of toy collecting is. It's not over there where we are.
No, so many people now that buy those toys for classifieds and stuff and actually make nice, vehicles and nice displays out of stuff, right? So yeah, no, I agree 100%. 2 last questions.
All right.
Are you into comic books?
Yes.
All right.
Do I buy
DC or Marvel?
Both, but mostly DC.
DC. All right. Favorite comic book character of all time?
Okay. Once again, I eat vanilla ice cream. I like He-Man, and Superman is my favorite character. I also think that he is the most intriguing character of them all. Yes, Batman is cool. Yes, Batman is a human being who has to live in a world full of superpowered beings and be able to be significant in that world. But Superman is one of the hardest characters that there ever was to write for. There are very few people who can do it. Elliot S. Maggin was one of them. Okay. When you find a writer that knows how to write for Superman, you're going to have a story on your hands, my friend. If you find a person who does not know how to write Superman, you're going to have some dreck on your hands. And there's been a lot of dreck coming out of DC Comics and Marvel lately. I don't read that shit. I live in the Bronze Age. I live in the Bronze Age. The Silver Age was before my time and a little bit too goofy for me. But the Bronze Age Go back and read those Bronze Age comic books. They are so wonderful.
Yeah.
Marvel and DC. Marvel was a little more gritty. DC was a little more happy and bright, but there was those Green Lantern, Green Arrow comic books. They weren't quite so bright and sunny. They were a little more reality based. And yeah, that's where I live at, man, when it comes to comic books.
Yeah.
And I have a large post crisis comic book collection that it sits underneath my bed. But I have one short box over here full of some stuff that I've been getting Bronze Age wise, of stuff that I always wanted and didn't have, or I had but lost, and now I'm getting it again.
Yeah, awesome. That's it, man. That's all my questions.
Well,
I was looking forward to this. I want. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I said it took us almost 2 hours to get here too, right?
Yeah, no, that's fine, man. I was looking forward to sitting down and actually like picking your brain and getting your opinions and your thoughts on everything. Like I said, you know.
Now, if you ask me these questions again next week, it all changes.
I'm the same way. Yeah, I'm the same way. Depends on my mood and just my mindset.
But yeah, it's been a great time with you. Now, let me pick you a little bit, especially about YouTube. Have you thought about, upping your game up a little bit, especially on your live streams and long form content, getting intros and outros and credits and stuff like that?
I try to keep it simple. Part of the reason is time. I know I should be putting a lot more effort into my content. But another thing is I don't really have time to sit down and learn how to do stuff and create stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's part of
Home Arcade said to me when I said that. He said that's a weak excuse.
It is. I agree with you. I agree 100%.
Now I can't say it the way he said it because I can't talk like Mr. Home Arcade can. That's a weak excuse, But
no,
yeah,
I really need to just get some time to myself though, and really sit down. I've been struggling even to get a logo. I'm not good at Photoshop. I still don't know how to figure out or how to use OBS. So
all right. Do you know Adam from Radical Toys?
Yes. Yeah.
He'll help you.
Yeah. He's good for logos. I was thinking about reaching out to him to create a logo and all that stuff for me too.
I'll tell you what. He'll probably would do it for you for free. He did it for me for free, but I became a patron of his as a result.
Yeah.
Go over there and patronize him, and he will do it for you.
Yeah, I've seen what he offers at his prices and over on his Patreon page too. I mean, it's fairly priced for what he offers in certain levels.
Oh, it's more than fair. If you try to get that from somebody, one of these grifters out there that do that shit, you're going to pay out the ass for something that that can be done by anybody.
I was talking to somebody locally and just kind of asked them for some quotes of getting the intro made and getting the logo, and it was $400 to $500 Canadian.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy, but that's what graphic artists charge. Yeah. Now, there's another person out there named the Green Knight. He does that stuff too. If you know who I'm talking about, he's got a YouTube channel.
Okay, Comic Book Collector. His logo's from Adam. Awesome.
It is. Now, as far as the Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures logo here, I made that myself using fonts that look like the stuff from EC Comics. But when I'm talking about that whoosh where it comes out at you like Superman in a movie, Adam did that for me. He did actually a long intro for me, and I just got that part out of it. I still have all the files from that, but and he didn't charge me a dime for that. And I appreciated it so much. I became his patron as a result. So
no, he's a good guy. I've been I don't catch his live streams and watch his content as much as I should, but like you said, it's hard.
I can't do it either because he pops on all during the day. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm over there making parts for Bobcats all day long.
Yeah. He's here in Canada, but his time zone's only half-hour time difference from me.
Yeah, he's over on what's called Atlantic time.
Yeah, he's at Atlantic, and we're Newfoundland time, so we're just half hour after him. He's
See,
only like
I never could understand how to pronounce that. Is it Newfoundland or is it Newfoundland?
we say Newfoundland. We just jumbled all together. A lot of
Mississippi.
people from what we call the mainland would say Newfoundland or Newfoundland. But
Well,
we just skip
it
that.
looks
We
like
just say Newfoundland.
Newfoundland, but that's not how it's pronounced. But Mississippi,
Newfoundland is good. Don't call it Newfoundland. Some people
Newfoundland,
call it Newfoundland. I was like, no,
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland. Yeah, Newfoundland's good. Newfoundland's good. I'll accept that.
Newfoundland. All right. Well, that was my question for you because most of us have our strengths and our weaknesses, and we're all willing to help one another. But all you have to do is reach out.
Yeah,
And
that's what my channel is really lacking. Well, obviously, I think I need to improve a lot on my live streams and my just my toy knowledge. I've been
well, the meat of
past,
your content is fine, but there's a little bit of the little bells and whistles that people like to see and like to hear. That could help. That helps draw in the normies, as I like to call them.
Yeah, it's definitely something I got to focus on. But
And I will say this though: you are doing what they tell you to do. They tell you to get rid of all the intros and outros and all that because they say nobody watches that stuff.
yeah, well, that's part of the reason too. I used to have an intro that I made myself, and then going through analytics, everybody would skip past the intro part, and it was like a 10-second intro. Everybody skipped past it.
Yeah.
So that's why I kept everything like just not screenshots, but just like little template or not templates. Can't find the word I'm looking for, but yeah, just a brief introduction, like.
I have a brief one for my videos. I usually come on and do a teaser about what it's going to be about. That's the hook. Then ding, 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 my logo comes out, and then we go into the video. One of the things that I don't do that I probably should do, and I've seen Mega J Retro doing this, is pause during the video and beg for subscribers. I put that at the end of the video along with my end screens and the end stuff, and that's not where it's supposed to go. But then again, I'm pig-headed. I do what I want to do, and I do it my own way, and I do it the old-fashioned way half the time. So it just is what it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. I just do whatever I
and of course
want to do.
My numbers don't lie. Okay, so I'm doing everything backwards the way it's supposed to be done, and getting everything backwards the way it's supposed to be. Like I said. My subscribers might be sitting here at 841. My fucking viewing hours are almost at 5,000. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm doing something different. Maybe I'm not doing it right, but I'm not going to be struggling for viewing hours like most people are when they hit their 1,000. I'm going to already have them.
Yeah.
What that means is that everybody that subscribed to me is actually watching me.
Well, every single live stream, I check out a live stream, you got 10, 20, 25 people there, like at times, right? So you always have a constant amount of people there. And you're close friends with a lot of people in your chat, right? So, and it's consistent. It's always the same people that come by, right? So
they are.
That is much more valuable than, say, a big subscriber count of people that don't watch your stuff.
They watch your well. See what happens now. Once again, I'm not knocking you. You got the subscribers to prove it, but that's what happens when you have a lot of shorts out there.
Yep.
Your shorts viewers will watch your shorts, and that's it. And sometimes they'll subscribe to you so that you'll get in their shorts feed. But they're not going to come back and they're not going to watch your long form videos.
No, a lot of YouTubers say that shorts killed YouTube, right?
Well, yes, and that is called the enshittification is the word that's been used for it. Facebook has been enshittified. Twitter got enshittified. YouTube's enshittified, and what that means is when they start trying to be everything instead of focusing on the thing that they started out to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Got rid of my intro too. Yeah, well, I ain't getting rid of mine.
You got a cool intro. You got
my intro.
Yeah, I don't know. You got a lot of cool stuff. I was like, not envious, but I like there's a big production value for yours. Like when you go into it, there's a big build up. There's
And then,
it's a whole show, man.
and then this ugly ass Mississippi man comes on the screen and ruins it all, right?
No, man.
No, I've
I
always
like it.
been that way. I've always been that way. When I did my blog, I had to make it look pretty.
Yeah,
I would spend hours and hours and hours moving stuff around and focusing on things I probably shouldn't have focused on, like whether this GIF lined up properly with the text next to it.
yeah,
Uh, maybe I should have been a graphic designer. I don't know, but
yeah. I tend to focus on stuff too, but then at the end of the day, I was like, okay, am I going
it's
to
all
focus
about
on this for the next two
it's
hours,
all
or
about the toys. It's all about the toys.
it
Yeah,
is?
like I said, you've got the meat. The meat
Yeah,
is there. If people will watch your show, they will be entertained by watching you interacting with your collection. That's what it's all about, in my
yeah.
opinion, anyway. And yes, Rick, opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one. They all stink, and nobody cares about yours.
Yeah, I just got to pretty it up a bit. So I will agree with you 100% on that one.
Any more questions for me, Jack?
I'm good, man. I know you got a show later on in a couple hours, eh?
I do. I've got late night tonight. We're going to do what I wanted to do tonight on the show was more of those stupid commercials like we did last week. Me and Jones have decided we're going to lean into that a little bit because people have enjoyed those and they're fun. But Joneser's wife drug him off to something today, and he's not going to be able to be my co-host.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm going to save that show for when Joneser comes back. And tonight we're going to learn about Halloween safety, how to be safe when we go out and go trick or treating. And I've got a good friend of mine named Mike Fee, who's one of my channel members and a supporter, who has never live streamed before in his life.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm going to pop his cherry tonight on my show. He will
Awesome.
no longer be a YouTube virgin when I get done with him. And I've already talked with him. I've got him on the StreamYard and we've got the kinks worked out. So hopefully it'll be a cool show. Hope to see you guys there. It starts at 10 Central Time. It's called Late Night. I think the icon and the link are already there on YouTube if you want to go ahead and get that in your notifications. And if you
Awesome.
haven't subscribed to me yet, you
Please
know
do.
what they say. Yeah, there you go, right there. Do those things, and it will help me. And if you do it for Chris, it will help him.
Definitely. Awesome, Bill. It was awesome having you,
And
man.
thank you. I appreciated being here. I appreciate you giving me the time to pretty much present myself out there. I'm a self promoter by all means.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you wanted some of this merch. I mean, I'm more than happy to show some of that off to you guys. I mean, we got coffee cups, we got teddy bears. There's the link up above to my spread shop. If you go to my channel link and hit my shop tab, you can go over there and buy the stuff. All of it goes right back into my channel. All of it. So yeah, thank
Awesome.
you. Thank you for giving me the chance to put myself out there. I'm more
Yeah,
than
no,
happy
man. Thanks. I
to do
appreciate
so.
it. I appreciate you taking time out of your night too, especially when you got a show coming up too. So
Yeah,
I don't want to burn you out
like
for
I
your
said,
own show, right?
one of these days, you're gonna have to come over and be on my show. I think you've already done it once, or we've always been crossed and never have.
We've
I can't.
always been crossed because of my weird shift. So I got to be up in 7 hours for work.
Oh yeah, I know how that
So
goes.
yeah, my work schedule is all over the place. It sucks.
And
And
of
a
course,
lot of
being
other
in three
channels
different
too. I'm
time
always
zones doesn't help either. So,
no.
but anyway, thank you, and thank you, chat, for being here. For those who stuck it all the way through, you're the lucky ones. The other ones who crapped out.
Awesome.
And I'm going to go ahead and take my leave, and I'm going to tell everybody what I always say: good journey, and until next time, we'll see you in the funny papers.
All right, guys, going to end it there. I want to thank Bill once again for taking time out of his night. He does have a live stream in a couple hours, so be sure to check his out if you guys are still awake. If you're on my time zone, it's going to be super late, but as always, check out Bill's channel, subscribe to his channel, and consider his channel membership, Patreon, all that good stuff. Check out his merchandise. I'm getting tongue-tied now. But yeah, go support Bill. Bill's been supporting my channel. He was my first Patreon member. He was my first channel member, my first super chat, and my second super chat. So very, very grateful for Bill. Can't say enough good stuff about him. So as always, my friends, keep collecting, stay safe, go buy some toys, and watch Bill.